Alright, so Yavik will be drinking in the bar.
Yavik is always drinking in the bar.
Yavik is passed out.
He'll
Yup.
join you guys if he needs to.
We have the dragon here. We'll be fine.
I would like to point out that everything is green in your broadcast.
It shouldn't be. It's not showing as green on my end. Yeah, I'm watching the stream on my phone and it's not green at all. That might be you. I don't know.
I need to refresh the page.
Let me take a look.
It's good on my end.
Technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Looks fine for me. Let me take a look.
Alright, that sounds like my mic and the team speaker both being picked up.
Yep.
Kick butt. Where's the Dragonborn token?
Up there where everybody else was.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think our tokens are all over the dang place now.
Alright. There he is. Alright, so, Miria, you head down, you follow him, do you follow him into Gilmore's, or no? No.
No, I'm watching at this point.
Okay. You see a human man, dark, kind of, bronze-colored skin, black hair, kind of slick back, goatee, and he's wearing kind of like purple and gold robes. He picks an item. It looks like a small shoot. Hold on.
This is a case where showing might be better than telling.
It's a cup. It looks like a cup with that has like gold ornaments and jewels on it. He takes the cup off the shelf, kind of puts it in a bag, and kind of hands it to kind of pulls the drawstrings to make like a little backpack. And kind of you see the little rabbit kind of put it on its shoulders, kind of wearing it like a satchel. Picks up the herbs, tosses the herbs in the bag, and kind of hops off the counter again and kind of heads out the door. And then after that, he doesn't stop until he gets all the way down here to this little cutoff right here, and then he heads up the side of the hill this way, and up to the house itself. And the picture on this just shows like a small little house. The manor itself takes up probably half of that area. Like, it's huge. 3 stories tall. Easily as big as not a football field, but a basketball-sized court. You know, big manor. Lots of greens and browns. Definitely a place that's been here a while. And he just kind of heads to the front door and just kind of opens kind of jumps up, and you see that the doorknobs are actually kind of those latch-like handles that have kind of the kind of like the handles to them. So he just kind of jumps up, puts his whole body weight on the handle, and kind of opens the door.
Cute.
Alright.
And kind of just walks inside.
At this point, I guess I would try and see if someone would come to the door. I'm not rude as to go in without being allowed to.
Okay. You kind of knock on the door. Do you knock, or do you kind of...
I knock.
Cool. You knock on the door. Couple of minutes pass with no answer.
Try one more time.
Okay. You knock again, and after a couple of minutes, you hear some scuffling and some noise. You're not sure from where, and you see the rabbit kind of poke its head out, open the door, kind of look up at you.
Hello, I'm here to see the Lord of the Manor.
You see him kind of look up at you, kind of nod, and then kind of open the door the rest of the way, and kind of beckons you inside.
Alright, I follow.
As soon as you enter into the double doors, the main foyer goes all the way up to the third story. Like it's just this big open kind of canopy in the main foyer as you first walk in. You see a staircase leading up to the second floor, and then as you turn the corner as he's leading you, you see another staircase that kind of winds up and goes up to the third story. Um, and you're seeing like plants, just all of these different kinds of rare and exotic plants, kind of darting the inside of this main foyer. You see really fine chairs. You see a small kind of sitting table. Um, in disuse. A lot of this furniture, especially in the front of the house, looks like it's been untouched for some time. And as he leads you through, uh, you actually see kind of two trees that are kind of almost like canopy esque inside of this front main living quarters room. And you are seeing kind of books and notes and papers and uh, all sorts of things kind of strewn about this whole area. Like some are on the floor, some are kind of haphazardly put inside of a bookcase. You see a skeleton of what looks to be some sort of serpentine creature that's kind of fixtured off onto one corner. And this serpentine creature, it's all bones, so it's probably the skeleton of this thing. Um, it's like 9 feet long. And it looks, let me show you a picture. But it's kind of adorning that side wall. It's kind of the big thing in this main room. And as you kind of coast up and around the side, you see him lead you into another room, and you see just shelves and shelves and shelves and shelves of books. Little bookcases, big bookcases. You know, the whole side of one wall is just covered in books. And you actually see kind of like 4 or 5 little ladders that are going up to the different parts of the bookshelf itself. And you see kind of at the top of one, you see a humanoid, elven looking person, green robes, kind of haphazardly put together. Like it looks like he's wearing good clothes, but like he just kind of threw them on. Bright red hair, kind of short and cropped to his head. And he comes sliding down the ladder with about 6 or 7 books in his fist, kind of haphazardly, kind of sprawling them on the table. And he goes, "All right, so I need this one, and I need that one, and oh, March, come on, bring it up." And you see March kind of hop back up on the table, and you see him kind of pull out his satchel and kind of start putting things together. And he goes, "All right, so I need the reagents here," and he's not even noticing you.
That's fine, I'm just watching at this point to see what happens.
You see him kind of writing things like numbers off on the table, kind of with chalk. You think he's doing some sort of arcane ritual or something. You've seen practices like this, but you haven't seen something like what he's doing. Like, it looks magical in nature, but you're not sure what it is. As he's drawing these lines and all of these letters and numbers and kind of just scrawling them in chalk on the side, and he goes, "All right, so I need that there. Okay, all right, so light those two, and I need the cup." As you see the rabbit kind of bring the cup forward, and you see him kind of go, "All right, So, the reagents, and that. And you see him take kind of a piece of fur, kind of put it in the cup, and he goes, no reaction. Start from square one. Never going to figure this out. All right. March, clean up. We're going to start again. I need to eat. How many days has it been since I ate?
Oh my gosh.
Food. I need food. And you see the rabbit kind of nod and kind of scurry off. He kind of looks around and goes, oh, how long have you been standing there?
Since your friend March re-entered the room, he led me in here.
Oh, March let you in. Oh, yeah, greetings. I'm Mimsy.
You don't have to be formal if you don't want to.
Fine, I hate formalities. As he kind of sits on a chair and puts his boots up. Like, well, welcome to my abode. My father's not in. Should I leave a message?
Actually, I came to see you.
Oh. Have you heard of my work? I haven't had a chance to really publish anything yet, but who are you?
My name is Mira.
Mira. Yes, I'm Mimsy Mimsy of the Hairborn clan. My father, Markle, unfortunately is unavailable. He went to the Southern Lands. He should be back from his excursion within, say, about a week.
I see. Well, I ended up being curious because March had delivered a letter to Mother Superior over at the temple, and they got me curious, and she said that you do work with science or something like that.
Oh, yes, science. Me and my father, and veritably our clan, are quite fascinated by science. The mages, came up with it. They said it was a gateway into learning a new kind of magic. Many of our type, especially the elves, believe we are blasphemers and why we don't live there anymore. But, yes, field of science will one day be the new magic.
May I ask what you were trying to conduct just now?
Oh, yes, certain kinds of spells and veritable magic effects can be duplicated with magical artifacts. Well, I'm trying to uncover the secret to being able to utilize these magical properties without the use of arcane power, and have been so far unsuccessful.
What particular effect were you hoping?
Well, and you see March kind of come in with a plate of food, kind of puts it on the corner of the table and kind of scoots it over in front of Mimsy. My companion March is unable to talk to me in the particular sense, so I was trying to mimic the ability to be able to converse with him, but as I said, I've been unsuccessful.
You're talking about druidic magics, then.
Druidic magic, yes, but it most specifically the spells. We have done research into the fact that divine magic, natural magic of the druids, as well as arcane, share some similarities, and thus many of their spells can bleed over into the other realms. But yes, speaking with animals, as a druid, I'm sure you have that ability.
I do, and I mean, I was taking a look at some of the herbs that March had gotten for you. Perhaps if you were to replace the fireweed with wibblewax?
Ah, that's
Here,
would be it. And you kind of do.
Yeah, she gives him a wibble wax weed.
Okay.
So.
All right. So he takes the kind of looks at it for a bit and goes, "Might work." And you see kind of March, like he's on the table and he's kind of looking down at the food that he just prepared, looking over at Mimsy, and kind of gives this look of really.
How about before you do that though, why don't you eat?
And he goes, "Oh, of course. Yes. March, write a note. Wax, weed, possible reagent.
Wibble wax.
Wibble wax. All right. Yes. And you see March kind of grab a quill, and like even though he has paws like a normal hare would have, you see that he's actually able to very easily like write things down. Like he's able to write almost exactly what he said on a small piece of parchment, and then kind of puts the quill back, kind of puts the note with kind of a stack of other papers that Mimsy has on the side. Kind of pets himself. You see March kind of lick his paw and kind of smooth down his fur, and you see him kind of sit there and kind of watching Mimsy eat with kind of
Cute.
this mix of frustration and just exhaustion on his face.
I go over to March and I give him a gentle scratch on the cheek. It's like, I know the feeling. I really do.
And you see him kind of enjoying it for a second, and he kind of looks at you with kind of these eyes of why, just this kind of emotional kind of looking into your face. And
Yes, there are just some people that you can't get through to. Believe me.
and Mimsy just kind of is ignoring the two of you as he's kind of sitting there eating. And you see March kind of nod to you and kind of hop down off the table, and you see that there's actually kind of a tray on the floor that has kind of like little bits of cabbage and little bits of onion and veritable things kind of in a bowl for him, and he kind of just starts eating it and snacking on it. Um, and after Mimsy's done, he's like, "Well, I should get back to my experiments. Thank you for visiting. Mary, but I definitely would love some of your expertise. Come anytime you would like to. The house is rather empty with my father gone. But yes, you're more than welcome."
Actually, I have some time to spare. Could I perhaps watch to see if this works for you?
Oh, most definitely. But it will be some time. I have to re-prepare my ingredients. I have to make some more poultices. Sleep might be in order. I don't know how long I've slept, or when I've slept, or if I've slept.
One question though, Mimsy, was it?
Yes.
I do have some friends that were kind of getting tired of trying to debate whether to stay at the tavern or the temple. Is it possible that I could have them stay overnight here?
Oh, absolutely. There's more than enough beds on the second floor. As I've said, March is usually my only companion here. While my father's gone, the servants, most of the rest of the staff, are either with him or on leave until he returns.
I see. Well, for now, I could help you create some of the poultice. Wibbleweed is kind of difficult to make into a poultice because of its waxy film.
Ooh, good to know. But yes, sleep. As you see, kind of after he's eaten, kind of the food coma hits kind of hard. And he goes, yes, perhaps rest. And I'll definitely be able to talk to you about it later. March, make sure that Maria and her friends are taken to the guests' bedrooms upstairs. I need to. And he just kind of passes out in his chair.
March, I have a few friends I'm gonna go grab. There is Anicia, Yavik, Saxon, and when he's better, Gilly. So I guess that's the 5 of us, if that's okay.
He shows you upstairs to the second story. There's about just halls and halls of rooms. And he shows you to kind of 5 of them that are kind of off to the back side. They're good sized rooms, you know, full beds. There's those baths, the basin baths. You know, nightstand, table, all that good stuff. So yeah, they're pretty good sized bedrooms that he shows you where they are.
Alright, thank you. I'm gonna go see about bringing at least 3 of them here. Gilly's still recovering, so it's gonna take some time before he can join us.
And he kind of nods at you and kind of gives you a little salute with his little paw.
Oh,
Yee, little paw.
What's up?
Just before I end up taking off, she ends up going ahead and doing kind of the quick version of the ritual.
Okay, quick version of speak. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you burn the slot, you cast the spell, and he just kind of looks at you puzzled and goes, "What is that strange lady doing?"
I mean, able to talk to you properly.
Can you hear me?
Definitely.
Oh, this is wonderful. I I don't often get to talk to people.
It's understandable. If you'd like, you're more than welcome to come with me.
Oh, and he kind of you see him dart around the corner and kind of see DMC Mimsy kind of passed out, and he goes, "Company would be great."
Not a problem. If you want, you can even ride on my shoulder.
Kind of hops on your shoulder and goes, "Ah, thank goodness, I could get off my legs for a bit."
We're still at the tavern.
Yeah. You guys actually, a couple of minutes later, after Yavik has sufficiently drowned himself in ale,
Oh, he's unconscious.
you see Miria come in, and yeah, it's a hare, like a jackrabbit, looking creature, just positioned on her shoulder, and he's wearing like a leather vest with little buttons.
Okay.
Hmm.
And she kind of just comes waltzing in with him.
Anicia gets a little closer.
The spell,
He's so
how
cute!
long does the spell last?
I would say since this is the short version this time,
Well, it's standard length. So let me take a look.
it's 10 minutes then.
10 minutes? Oh yeah. You got all the way. It only takes about 3 to 4 minutes to get up to that northern part. So you still got a time before it's gonna wear off.
And Bridget, I've already made March aware of it, so.
Okay.
Yeah. So
he just kind of tells you, as long as you can cast it again. That's all I care about.
Mira walks in. The first thing she's probably going to notice is that Javik is passed out drunk at a table.
Clutching the note in his hand.
Yes. With tears running down his birdie face.
At this point, Mira's like, I can't say I'm surprised.
Well, that would be a lie if you did.
Anyway, Anicia, this is March. He's the rabbit that came into the temple earlier.
Oh! I see he's taken a liking to you.
And you see March kind of give a small little bow as he's there on the shoulder.
Adorable! Sorry.
And you see March kind of look at Anicia with this look of slight concern and goes, "I really, really hope she doesn't try to hug me."
The adorable was out of character.
Okay.
In character, I think Anicia's poking Javik to try and get him to consciousness, although I don't think she's going to succeed.
Probably end up having to carry him.
And you see March as he's looking over at the Aarakocra, kind of slightly passed out.
Slightly.
Goes, I really hope that thing doesn't try to eat me.
Believe me, he'll have to deal with me as a bear if he tries.
Bear.
Roar, she's a bear!
I'll show you later, March.
Cool. And so, but yeah, Yavik will get to you guys if you guys actually enter a combat or do any of that stuff. So don't worry about it. He just kind of he gives you a half drunk, half sleepily. I'll be with you guys like.
Or he takes like the last swig out of the glass he had in his hand and then passes out again.
Mm-hmm.
I almost wish Anicia wasn't so ethical because she would try and read that stupid letter. Darn paladin ethics.
You guys actually read it when you were looking over his shoulder.
Oh, I missed that part because when I was having disconnection issues.
Yeah. Okay. At this point, I've managed to have us a place to stay that's a little ways out of the town, so we don't have to keep bouncing between the tavern and the temple.
It may be best if we take Javik away from sources of alcohol for a while.
Fair enough. Zaxxon, could you possibly...
Yes, I'll carry him.
Oh, it is more than easy enough for you, Zax, to just kind of pick up Yavik and just kind of
Come over my shoulder.
Carry him. Yeah.
Aarakocra are usually under 5 foot tall, so this is not a big birdie.
Alright then, we're on our way back.
Da da da! Alright, gotta move my token.
Alright,
as you guys are heading back down, you see March kind of huddle closer to your shoulder. Maria, and he goes, just don't look him in the eye, and we're good. We're good. We're good. Think.
Don't look who in the eye.
What's wrong, March?
As you come around the corner and you see that same Minotaur from before.
Oh! Well, Javik's not conscious to cause trouble.
We're just gonna keep going. We don't want to mess with the Minotaur.
No, we don't.
And as you guys kind of finish passing him, you see March kind of go, "Phew! I don't want to have to deal with that guy." Jeez.
Have you had a negative experience?
Well, because of what the masters deal in, sometimes stuff does get stolen, but it gets promptly put back when they realize that Lord Pyrer does not take well to looters or thieves.
Most people do not.
And he gives you the game Lord Pyrar.
That name sounds familiar. I am trying to think where I've heard it before. I hate being senile.
So, I heard that name somewhere before. It may have been back in Hexus.
Most likely.
I don't think he's gotten that far north.
But the name would have still passed by, I'm sure.
Yeah. From what you hear, because, well, you've been through Whitestone before, Maria. Lord Pyrer is actually the captain of the guards here in Whitestone. He's the guy in charge of the police force here in Whitestone. And from what you've heard of his reputation, he is one of the only incorruptible things here in Whitestone. He does not tolerate thieves, jagabonds, what have you. Most of the guards can be bought, but Pyrer don't give F. You know, if you've done wrong in his city, he'll make you pay for it.
So, Pyrer, is that who the Minotaur is?
Yep, that's Lord Pyrer.
That explains a lot.
Okay, I follow a little better now.
So, and March goes, yeah, he always gives me the shifty eyes because I'm technically a companion. I'm He worries about how smart I am. And he's worried that I might do something funny, like steal from other people.
Well, I think as long as you end up staying out of his way, you should be alright.
Yeah. Ugh. And you see that March is still kind of shaken. You know, like not like really scared, but like very just worrisome, and is really relieved once Pyra kind of makes his presence known, but then leaves.
Alright, at this point we're just making our way over to the house.
Okay. So yeah, you guys head in, and you guys heard the description before, right? The big, huge foyer and everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you guys want to roll a history check on that big sculpture, you can, or the skeleton, the big skeleton.
Sweet.
Okay. Anybody else? Musical?
Yeah, I didn't do very well. But Zaxxon did worse.
Alright, so Miria, that is a bone naga. They're large serpentine creatures. You know that sometimes their skeletons can, like, still have magical properties to them. You're not sure if this one particularly has magical properties to it, but you know that, basically it is a type of naga or large serpent. Very dangerous, very intelligent, very deadly.
Sounds like it'd be problematic even dead.
And you see kind of March look over at the bone naga and goes, I really hope so. Been here for years.
What is
Lord
that
Marius brought it back on one of his expeditions. They said it was dead.
You sound like you doubt its deceasedness.
He's got a good reason. Well, remember that Nissia can't understand. It's only Miria.
Yeah.
All right, dang. Shush.
He's got a good reason to be nervous. It's possible that Bone Naga may or may not be dead. Not entirely sure.
How could it be
Is it
not
sleeping
dead
or patiently waiting?
as a skeleton?
Because that's what bone nagas are. They are bone. They're a type of
Oh.
bone serpent.
Maybe it's the home security system.
Anicia looks just mildly concerned.
Actually,
Wouldn't take anything.
if you guys want to roll either medicine or some sort of actually no, it's gonna be a nature check. It's gonna be a nature check. Check if this thing is actually alive.
Yay!
Yay. Yeah, you two girls, as you kind of get closer to the bone naga, it looks intimidating because it's like 9 foot long, but you can tell that the bones themselves are dried. The connective tissue that normally holds this whole thing together is very brittle, very looks like it's very weathered. The jaw itself is kept together with like wires and string and kind of barely holding on to the bottom part of that jaw.
In other words, Shadow's probably going to break it when he wakes up.
Looks really fragile. Whatever life would have been in this thing has long been deceased.
Oh, good. It's gone. Okay, it is dead.
Yes.
Okay, it is
very
dead.
good.
And you see March kind of go, whew. and musical, you actually see the rabbit just kind of wipe his brow.
Even without the spell, that gesture communicates.
Yeah.
All right. March.
As you hear snores coming out of the where
Excuse
the library
me,
is.
Is there a bear in the other room?
No, that would be the unmaster of the house.
Oh, okay.
March, would you show them to the rooms? I'm gonna go check on Mincy for you.
Okay. And you see March hop down off her shoulder, and he kind of gestures with his paw to follow. And he goes, "Come on." And you see him dart up to the second story and show you guys to the rooms, which are very similarly decked out. Full beds, nightstand, dresser. There's not like indoor plumbing, so there's not a toilet. But there is like one of those what is it called? The chamber pots, and a basin for like water and stuff.
A privy.
A privy. There's a privy. So it's pretty decked out for a mansion. Like it's decked out to about what the kind of anemone's a pretty well-to-do family in this city. So yeah.
At this point, Zaxxon picks a bed and puts Javik onto it.
He is
At
going
least
to
I'm
wake
not the
up
one
from
throwing
the
him into a
best
bed
sleep
this
in
time.
ages.
Yeah, I don't think we get any reaction from Javik, like not even a
And
Yeah,
as you
he
guys
freaks
kind
out.
of get down there, the errands that you were kind of seeing him run took about a couple of hours, so it's getting kind of later towards like 5 o'clock-ish, later towards dinner. And you see March kind of head up to you. At this time, the spell has faded. But you see kind of him kind of beckon you over and like gesture to eat. If you guys are hungry.
Oh,
I think we're
Sounds
eating.
good to me.
I'll be there in probably 10 minutes. I have to do the long version of the spell to be able to talk with you again, March.
Okay. Okay. So you did have the spell prepped. You used it. But you did buy the extra herbs, so you can do the long form. So you do the long form. Still only gonna last about 10 minutes.
Really?
So do you want to burn them or no?
What?
Do you want to still burn it? Because it's only gonna give you 10 minutes. It's gonna only the length of time.
Oh, I know better. I know something better.
Okay.
I'll surprise March after dinner.
Okay. So you see him kind of head into head through the library, kind of head towards the kitchen. You see that there's pots and pans and things. Everything looks immaculately clean, like cleaner than it should be. And he heads over, and you see him kind of grab a hold of some levers or some and hit some. He looks like he's fiddling with something, and then after about a couple of seconds, you hear a kind of a clanking sound, and you see this brass-looking humanoid figure about 4 to 5 feet, about 4 feet tall, kind of spring to life, and it goes clickety 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 clickety.
A robot?
Automaton.
Clickety 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 clickety.
Domo
And then it walks
arigato,
over,
Mr.
picks up a knife,
Roboto.
starts cutting things.
Starts. It's an automaton, right?
And March just kind of nods his head.
I remember seeing some of these back in Hexus, but not humanoid like this.
This one, it's similar to a mod drawn as far as like what it's made out of, but this thing looks like a small human, like a person. It's got kind of actual facial features that have been built into this thing. It doesn't have the pseudo-organic perks like a mod drawn. It looks a lot more artificial. There's more gears and more motors. So, and you see
That's amazing.
And you see this little automaton kind of go through the kitchen, make a quick meal of soup and meat and some bread, and then starts putting it on plates. And from there, March kind of picks up the platters and kind of takes it out to the same table where Mimsy's kind of still passed out. And March kind of looks up at you and kind of hands you the plate.
Thank you, March. I think it might be wise to wake up Mimsy to eat a little bit more. He didn't eat quite enough last time.
March kind of gives you a nod and then a look of what's this little rabbit gonna do? So he kind of gives you a little smirk and a sneer. He kind of hops up on the table, gets real close to Mimsy's head, takes his big foot, and just goes real hard on the table.
That's glorious.
And you see Mimsy go, and you see Mimsy go, oh, March, thanks for the alarm. What was I at? Why was I? Hi.
You went into a food coma after you ate, but I don't think you ate quite enough because I kind of heard your stomach growling while you were sleeping.
And he goes, oh, yes, and thank you. March, if you would, yes. And you see March just kind of roll his eyes, shake his head, and walk over and grab a plate of food for Mimsy.
Mimsy, these two are my friends. This is Anicia, she's a paladin, and Saxon, he's a
I'm getting
fighter.
background noise from somebody.
Fighter.
Oh, you're leaving musical?
No, I said I'm getting background noise from somebody.
Okay.
Okay.
So he actually, at this point, he realizes the two of you are there. And he kind of goes, oh, yes, hello. And he kind of,
Hello.
he looks at Zaxxon with this look of curiosity and kind of squints his eyes and goes, you're a dragonborn, correct?
Yes.
And he kind of looks you up and down. Kind of goes, I might want your corpse when you're not using it.
Anicia looks horrified. That's not very respectful to the dead.
And he kind of looks over the paladin and looks at the dragonborn and goes, we'll talk later.
Anicia just sighs.
There is another member of our group, but he's currently in an intoxicated.
He's in a coma of his own upstairs.
He went to the tavern and
Alcohol induced.
yes. Over some letter, apparently.
I heard the dwarves created a cure for that. Let me look through my notes.
Sorry.
I think it was called Wake Up Juice.
Actually,
Is that the stuff that Anicia force-fed Tarkus?
Miria, what's up?
Mimsy, actually, let's let him sleep. He's kind of, from what these two told me on the way here, he's kind of had a rough day, so let him sleep it off.
Very well.
Could have a wicked hangover in the morning though.
He serves him right.
You see, as you guys are kind of eating the meal, Mimsy kind of converses with you guys as far as like stuff he's working on. He kind of asks Anicia about her thoughts on the differences between the different kinds of magics. And as your experience from being a paladin and being a priest, there is some bleed over between the different kinds of magic. Certain spells not only you can do, but Miria can do. But there are some slight variations as far as you get the same result, but you guys get there two different ways.
Right, like I can use, or even versus a wizard, Anicia can use her holy symbol to substitute for material components.
Yeah, exactly. So, and from what the conversation you're getting from Mimsy is that his family are almost specifically these type of people who are interested in the sciences and interesting with mimicking kind of the spell-like abilities of casters and that kind of thing. And from what he tells you, it goes back about 3 generations. His grandfather, who was an elf, his whole family are elves, and you can tell from his features that this is the case. And he says that his grandfather once knew a very powerful mage who kind of got burned for all of his magical abilities, and basically his own magic destroyed him. And so this really caused his grandfather to really look at magic in general and magic as a thing, and seeing what magic's true purpose is, and that's kind of what caused the family to kind of be this way.
Mhm.
So it's more of the fact that it's not to mimic these abilities for power, it's to mimic these abilities in order to kind of either stop them, counter them, or react to them in some way.
I actually, and Mira finds this all very interesting, to be honest, because she's the curious person.
Well, Odyssey is too, but at any point if her own powers are being inquired about, she's probably going to give very textbook answers.
Well, that's good for Mimsy.
Yay, textbook answers.
And from what you hear, his whole family line are people who can know magic but choose not to. He himself a ranger. His great grandfather was a he started out as a mage, but he was his grandfather was actually a holy man. He started out as a cleric. So his grandfather's really the only one who had any sort of magical potential in his family. He's a ranger. His father's a ranger. His mother. He says his mother's very good at being where she shouldn't. You're not sure what that means.
Rogue.
And his wife, the grandfather's wife, was also a ranger. So.
Oh, Shadow will be thrilled.
So,
I would say at this point, it's been a little while and Nur is over.
What?
Yeah.
I would say at this point, quite some time has passed while they were talking and dinner is over. I would say at this point, I'd help March clear the table.
Okay.
And you see
him fiddle with the levers again, and give the plates to the automaton, who washes them clean.
Awesome. It's like a dishwasher.
So, after you help him clear the table, what are you doing?
I don't even know.
You guys just hanging out, or the where you guys are with where the grand table is set up, it's almost like a library. There's just books and books and books and books and books like everywhere. So you're seeing all kinds of different languages. What kind of languages does everybody have? I know Zaxxon has Draconian.
I have Draconian too.
Actually have Draconian in them. The spine of the book has those letters, and you see a couple of them that say, they talk about medicine, dragon magics, breath weapons, and me, those kind of things. Not so much just basic kind of things, as far as you can tell from looking at what the titles are.
Checking things for dummies.
I have Common, Elvish, Draconic, and Celestial.
You do see a lot of them are written in Elvish, because of the family's lineage.
Yes.
See a couple of them that are Celestial, but most of them are names of the different gods.
Is there anything on Torm?
There is. You actually see a book that has its spine, and it says Torm on the side of it. Torm, the deity of might.
Elysia might be grabbing that just to have some bedtime reading.
Okay, so you grab that one.
My languages are Elvish, Common, and Sylvan.
You don't find any books that are written in Sylvan. As far as you know, Sylvan is actually more of a spoken language than a written one.
I know, I'm just saying what mine are.
Okay. But yeah, you do see a bunch of books written in Elven.
Mine
Talking
is
about
just common and draconic.
Oh. Sad.
You see various types of dragon-like creatures that are also have these books written in draconic, kobolds, troglodytes, those kind of things, and you see like the different. It's almost like an encyclopedia of like, it says troglodyte, and then it says kobold, and then it says drake, wyvern, and just all the way down. Any kind of dragon type creature you see, at least there's a book there that has that type of creature on it. But yeah, March helps you clear off the table, and at this point it is getting later in the evening, and Mimsy's like, I think I will retire to bed. I will see you all in the morning. This has been fun.
Rest well, sir. Thank you for your hospitality.
Oh, no worries. It gets really lonely around here without my father. I miss him.
Oh, there's a little bit of feels there.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, March.
And you see him kind of look up at you.
Come with me for a minute.
He kind of, he's kind of like, he gives that kind of okay, kind of shrug, and kind of follows you.
At this point, she would end up going into, I guess, the room that she's designated in. She wants to show him how she can transform.
Is she transforming into a bunny?
What are you turning into?
Well, considering that I don't think a rabbit would be too difficult.
A hare.
You can definitely turn into a bunny.
Turn into a jackalope.
Okay. So he's he follows you into the foyer, kind of by himself, and then you turn into a hare, and he kind of just he takes a couple of steps back because he's like, because he saw you turn into a He didn't see you turn into a bear, did he? Oh, he hasn't changed your
Nope.
shift
No, not
at all.
all.
Okay. He kind of takes a couple steps back and he kind of looks at you, kind of gets a little closer, and it tilts its head to the side and goes, "You're really pretty."
Be careful. He's probably going to be practicing the multiplication tables.
Hey.
Thanks, but I just want to be able to show you that I can transform into a hare like you, so it makes it easier for us to talk.
And you see him kind of get this kind of not necessarily upset look on his face, but kind of a disappointed look on his face, and he goes, I'm always alone here. My kind will never accept me anymore. I'm too human. I don't know. And he kind of grips his head for a second, and he's like, why did they do this to me?
What do you mean?
The people. They put me in cage. They fed me something. It made my head hurt.
The people here in this house or somewhere else?
No. Lord Marius is actually the one who found me. He found me in a cage. He didn't tell me where. He told me that all of the bad people were gone. He took me home. And I've been with Mimsy ever since he was a boy. And thinking to yourself, if Mimsy's now looks to be an adult, if March was here since Mimsy was a child, he's at least 100 years old. March.
Wait, then you're probably over 100 then, correct?
Yeah. I live really long for a rabbit. They didn't question it. They just was glad I was here. seen so many people, and I don't know. And he's still kind of clutching his head.
Easy, March. Don't stress yourself.
It's okay. It's just a lot of my early memories. I can't recall them anymore.
Do we have a lesser restoration in the house?
Oh, don't strain yourself. It's not worth the stress.
Thank you. And he kind of he kind of inches closer to you, and he kind of gives you a hug, and he goes, "Thank you. Thank you for being here. I'm all alone. Nice to have somebody who can actually talk to me."
Well, Mimsy's trying his best. Don't forget about that.
I know. I just don't know if he'll succeed.
Well,
He's been at this for quite a while.
Well, he's got that new experiment to try tomorrow. Who knows?
I hope it goes well. Well, I think I'm gonna turn into. And he kind of stretches, and you kind of hear kind of the creaking of his aches, and goes, "Well, I'll see you in the morning, Mira. Thank you."
Thank you. March?
Uh-huh.
If you end up if you go out, I saw earlier on the path, there's some, my people back in the East call it hyper root, but it may have a different name here. It's used to deal with aches and pains in the muscles. Sorry,
Oh, definitely.
That's my
Appreciate that.
dad playing music in the other room.
Okay.
Okay.
It can help with aches and pains in the muscles, just so that you know. That's when you usually mix it with food because it has a slightly bitter taste.
Fair enough. And he kind of gives you one of his little bows, and you see him kind of head towards the front part of the room where the library is. And you see him actually kind of dart off to the side, and you see that there's kind of like it looks like a drawer that was taken out of one of the dressers and kind of laid on the ground, and it's got a really nice looks like a velvet blanket that's put on the inside, and he kind of jumps inside, and he kind of takes off his waistcoat very formally and kind of hangs it up and kind of gets himself in it like a cat and kind of curls up and goes to sleep.
Aww.
Alright, at this point, I have transformed back and I headed to my room.
Yay! I think Sabrina made a friend.
Yay! Shadow made
You
friend.
guys got to meet March and Mimsy, because Mimsy was actually one of my player characters back in the day.
Shadow
And
and
March-
Sabrina both made new friends.
So you guys crashing for the night?
Yeah.
Sounds
Cool.
like it. Like a long rest after Anicia finishes reading that book.
Actually, I think Zaxxon would take an opportunity to look around for a little bit.
Oh, Zaxxon, you're just perusing the halls.
Pretty much.
Like a
Okay.
stalker.
You see an owl bear that looks like it's been stuffed and perched in one of the other halls of the main of the downstairs. As you head up into the upstairs and kind of peruse around, lots of empty rooms. Many of them, two of them are locked, one at each opposite corridor. They look like, whereas all of the other doors have a single door, this one has double doors and it's locked.
Must be the master bedroom.
But yeah, there's two of them, one on each side, two master bedrooms that are actually locked. And as you kind of peruse to the other rooms, all of them are very similar. Some of them actually don't have the full beds. They actually just have the small beds with the basins and everything, but all the amenities are there. So you're thinking there might be the servants' quarters. All in all, there's about there's 8 guest rooms, the 2 main rooms at the end of the hall, about 10 of the servants' quarter rooms, and about 6 full rooms that you don't think are guest quarters, but they're actually because they're individualized and they're personalized. Like one of them has like fine tapestries and silken wares and things. So you're thinking this is probably one of the actual bedrooms of one of the people who live here. Um, so you find of the 6, you find 2 child rooms, and then the rest are kind of personalized. You see one of the rooms, the personalized ones, has like heads of various type of creatures kind of adorned around the inside of the room. You're seeing a lot of furs and a lot of you see a large uh rug made out of a tiger that's kind of laid on the front.
The ranger's all right.
Um so yeah, those are the kind of rooms that you kind of get. And as you head up to the 3rd floor, the only thing that's really in the 3rd floor is kind of this open, big, almost like an entertaining hall. Big,
Ballroom.
tiled floors, clean lines, lots of stained glass, a piano that's kind of off to the side of the room. You see kind of one of the bar. You see that there's a main bar with like drinks and things behind it, glassware and everything. So that's the only thing you see on the 3rd floor is the basically the ballroom.
Keep Shadow away from there.
Yep.
So, and that's pretty much all the house has. So, as
Nothing
you
incriminating.
So what are you doing after that, Zaxxon?
Basically, I just make my way back to the room and get in the bed and go to sleep.
Cool. At fairly early in the morning, like not too early, like 8 or 9 in the morning. Actually, Maria, who hears it first, you hear a little pat, 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 pat on the door.
Shadow's still nursing a hangover.
Yeah. I go to the door after making sure that I was all dressed and everything, and I answer it.
Okay. March is kind of standing there, smile on his face.
Good morning, March.
And he kind of takes his paw and kind of beckons behind himself, and gives you kind of a bow. Kind of heads over to one of the other rooms, knocks. He heads to Musical's room 2nd.
She's awake. He just hears her call from within. I'm getting up. I'm getting up. She's not a morning paladin.
And he kind of just shakes her head. Kind of walks over to Zaxxon's room, does the same thing.
Actually gets up and answers the door.
And you see, March give a bow, kind of wave, points towards where the stairwell is, and heads over to where Yavik's room. And after you hear the thunk, 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 you hear a toy!
March, it's probably best. March, it's probably best to leave him alone. If he happens to come down later, it'll be on his own devices.
Yes, you trust me. You don't want to deal with him directly after this.
Yeah, he is in the middle of probably the world's worst hangover right now, so I wouldn't recommend it.
And you see the March just kind of shake his head, kind of almost. He face palms with his paw.
Yes, face paw.
When he kind of heads downstairs. The vest he's actually wearing now has tails. Like it looks like a
Like
looks like
Jeeves?
a tuxedo without it looks like a tuxedo without the undershirt. It's just
Awesome.
the coat and then the bow tie.
Yay!
That's cute on you.
Anicia just kind of smiles, but she's not completely awake yet because they haven't discovered caffeine.
He heads
Yes,
downstairs
they do.
where
They have
breakfast is ready.
caffeine.
Not like Coca-Cola.
The tea.
You see, actually, Mimsy is kind of putting stuff into bags. You see, he has kind of a couple of different things and put together, and you see there's a bow, like an actual archery bow, that's kind of put on the table, and he's kind of like, oh, not again. March, I'll take my breakfast to go.
What's going on?
Got another message from Castle again. Great.
Everything all right?
Wait, what's going on?
Well, we have an agreement because of who we are. We handle all of the cadavers. The corpses of people who have died in the city. Mostly to clean them and make sure they're not pestilent filled. Before they're buried. The healers try to tell us that it's not really our job, but it's more of the fact of because of the work that we do, we
They're
cut into a
skeptical
few
of
of
you.
them, see what's going on. It's another
Ew.
part of the magic.
Pretty much give them an autopsy.
Yeah, pretty
Well,
much
that
give them an
carries
autopsy.
its own risks.
And he goes, because we're not specifically schooled in magic, sometimes the corpses decide to get back up.
Oh.
So we have to go deal with those.
Oh dear.
I can accompany you if you'd like.
I'd love that. Actually, I really want to get to my experiments. And he kind of looks at you with this mixture of pleading and kind of gritting his teeth going, it's supposed to be my job, but I really don't want to do it.
Nice.
How about I go with you? It'll get done faster, and then we can get back faster for you to do that.
Would you like the rest of us to do anything around
he's
here?
Hinting that he wants us to go in his place.
Oh.
But I want to watch the experiment.
I wouldn't know what to do. I mean, if it comes back to life, I know what to do.
The
Yeah, if it comes back to
preparations,
life, kill it with fire.
the
That's not how
preparations
paladins
are going
work.
to take me at least a few hours. Please.
Oh, what? So where are we going? What are we
He
doing?
won't start without you.
Yeah, he's like, I won't start without you, but I really need time to prepare everything.
Okay.
Prepare his experiments or prepare for the
Yeah.
corpse?
Well, no, prepare his experiments.
Okay, for talking with the bunny. All right then.
It looks like we have a job to do.
Yes,
All
we'll do it just the three of us. I don't know if Javik would be more of a hindrance than a help right now.
As you hear him kind of storm downstairs, stupid things, stuffs the you see he kind of stuffed the letter in his pocket, and he's kind of up, unkept, and kind of, if
He's still hungover.
if Birdman could have a 5 o'clock shadow, he'd have one.
So his feathers are really, really ruffled.
Oh yeah, those
his
feathers are
really
not
ruffled.
preened.
He kind of picks up the plate of food, kind of wolfs it down, and goes, I just need something to get my mind off of this. Let's just go.
It sounds like it does sound like a Mila. Anicia just raises an eyebrow, like, "Are you sure you're not dying?"
And he's like, I'll be fine. Do this.
If you insist.
You may want to straighten yourself up first.
Oh, perhaps some basic preening before you allow yourself to be visible to the public.
He takes another swig of his flask and goes, I am okay for travel.
You know what? This is where she swipes the flask and puts it in her bag.
Yes! Anicia's like doing a golf clap.
That's enough, Yavik.
And you hear him begrudgingly say, I want that bag.
He's like swearing in air. He's like cussing in native Eric Crocoran.
Probably is.
Too bad.
No. He tells you that he's like, underneath the castle, we've been able to store the cadavers, because they made a mausoleum underneath the castle way back, way back.
Glorious.
And that's where we've been storing the cadavers. After we've been doing the experiments on them, and that's where they are.
So how do we get them to let us in when they're expecting you?
Well, use our entrance, which is, and he tells you that there's a underground type of an entrance that goes from the docks. It's actually under one of these things. There's actually the building is owned by his family, by the Hairborns, but it's just a storage facility. He says that the mausoleum that was built underneath the castle, because it's deep underground and under the side of the hill,
Mhm.
the basically, like, there's no smell. There's no way that, if stuff starts smelling rotten, it's not going to affect everybody. But if they just put it in a storehouse, the entire part of that entire storehouse will stink of rotting decay.
Hey, I'll be right back. I have to go take the dogs out.
Okay. Do we want to do another quick bio break?
Mhm.
Are we good? Okay. So let's take another 5, and we'll come back.
Oh yeah, since that was a long rest, I
We will be right back.
need to put my
after
hit
these
dice
messages.
and lay on hands back to full. Darn it. I'm always knocking out this power plug on my MacBook. But yeah, I just remembered I forgot to do some character sheet maintenance while she slept.